Before emotional awareness, my life felt like a war. A constant fight against everything and everyone, avoiding more pain, avoiding more disappointment, avoiding another failure, another disappointment, another betrayal, avoiding to be hurt. Because the feeling of being hurt or disappointed was really overwhelming, because it generates more negative emotions and more negative reactions. And I found myself in this constant fight against something I wasn't even aware what it was. I wasn't even aware what I was fighting against, but I was fighting. That's it. Day in, day out, you have to survive. You have to fight against something. You have to prove yourself in some area. You have to negotiate your way out somehow. You have to settle for something that you do not really agree with, but you feel like you have to, so you do it, and you get upset with yourself. I was disappointed by myself more than any other person. Disappointed by myself more than with my conditions. And I was in victimhood. It was, you are in a war, and not only you are in a war and you are fighting, but you are also the victim of this war. A war that you didn't choose to have, you weren't aware of. You don't even know who is the enemy, who are you fighting against, and yet you had to keep your armor up to fight, to protect yourself, and to get out of it. Every day I have to wake up and to fight from the day to the night, and then go to sleep to get to another fight the day after. And the night, of course, you have overwhelm, overthinking, mix of emotions, negative emotions, from frustration to anger to everything. And you go the next day and it's the same thing. It's a spiral. It's a spiral of negative things and emotions happening all the time. A war that was really exhausting. I used to struggle with my relations, from the one with myself to the one with others. I couldn't communicate with people accordingly. I couldn't express myself. I was afraid to speak my truth, to give my opinion, to say no sometimes, because I was afraid I will disappoint someone. I will not meet their expectations. I will not meet their standards. They will see me as wrong or bad or mean or arrogant. So I was all the time on this fear of hurting others. Fear of disappointing them and the world. There was a burden on my shoulders that I was carrying, and it was so heavy, and I was struggling with it all the time, and I didn't even know what was it and where did it come from. Everything changed for me was when I started to get tired of my negative emotions. I got to a point where I said, what is going on? Why am I all the time having these emotions? So I started Googling them. I started to look for them, to research, to understand what was going on. Then I realized something. My emotions were not only reactions. They could be something else. This is something I came up through researches, through a lot of books, YouTube videos, podcasts, and I got to a point where I realized emotions are the key. Emotions aren't to be avoided, to be escaped. They aren't even to be commanding our life, dictating how we react to the life or to the conditions. They were much more than that if we knew and if we know how to use them, to understand them. Because by understanding them, we get closer to our true self. Ultimately, I've heard the importance of distancing ourselves from our emotions. For example, when I tried meditations at the beginning, I wasn't aware of this. I didn't understood. I didn't grasp the meaning. They would say in the meditation, observe your thoughts, observe your emotions without judgment. At the beginning, I was there wondering, what does it even mean? How is it possible that I can observe my emotions and thoughts without having any reaction? This is who I am. I am angry. I am upset. How can I do it without being aware of them? How can I listen to my thoughts without being reactive to them, without embodying them? With this information that we are not defined by our emotions. We feel emotions because something is triggered, and that's what triggered this emotion. For example, maybe someone would say, you aren't very kind or you are lacking empathy, I would take it emotionally and think that it defines me. Another example might be when somebody tell you you are very emotional, you are overwhelmed, you are overreacting, you are too shy, you are da-da-da. I have been conditioned, and I realized that I have been conditioned to believe that what others tell about me defines me, and moreover that when you define me as a too emotional person, it is a negative thing. It has a negative connotation. So I realized that by having this association between all the people that would describe me or share their opinion about me by saying something related to an emotion, you are angry, you are an angry person, you are an aggressive person. All those things have been absorbed by me like they were my identity. I embodied them. And I was also afraid to show it because I said, oh, if someone that is important for me would say that I was too emotional, I would see myself as a negative person, a bad person, not worthy of love. So I would try to hide my emotions so they do not feel frustrated or annoyed or bothered by my over-sensitive or over-emotional identity. When in the reality, first of all, it's the opinion of someone else about me. They do not define me. People might say to you that you are very emotional or any other example you have. It's up to me to choose the meaning, to choose to either take it positively, negatively, or just take it as it is, an opinion from someone who do not know me, who is given his opinion based on something he saw and he interpreted as one way or another. So emotional awareness helped me to understand that I do not have to take it personally, that there is perception, there are definitions, and the emotions we feel are our way to define the experiences we have in life and the circumstances. This is a very important realization I've had about my emotions when I discovered the emotional awareness and the key role of my emotions and how to use them at my advantage. Because emotion, as any other thing in this life, is an amazing gift we have. An amazing gift that we can either use to our advantage as an ally or use it as an enemy. I used to use it as an enemy and I was thinking I was in war. After this shift, I realized that I wasn't in a war. It wasn't an enemy, it was a messenger, and I get to choose how to feel. I don't have to react emotionally. Because emotions, since they are definitions I choose consciously or unconsciously to give to anything that happens to me, to give it a meaning, because we give meanings to things through our emotions. We remember things through how we felt, people through how they made us feel, through how we felt around them. This is how we remember everything. This is how we experience things. This is how we understand if something is good or bad for us, if you want to re-experience it or avoid it. It's all up to our emotions. If we are functioning in an unconscious way, we might define things without thinking about them, observing them, listening to them, leaning down to them and hearing them to understand and choose what meaning we want to give them. This realization, and it's much deeper than that, honestly, but I can tell you that the moment I realized that my emotions weren't my enemy, they were my friends, they were guiding me, I became very curious to understand what are my emotions, what are my feelings, what are emotions and feelings in general, how to understand them, how to transform them, why do we have negative emotions and why do we have positive emotions, what does it mean? I realized that, for example, this was for me a very amazing realization, that when I am feeling positive emotions, I am being my true self. I am experiencing my most pure, happy self. I am in the present. I am enjoying the moment. I am enjoying my life and myself, and I'm being me. I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm not trying to please someone or myself. I'm not punishing myself. I'm not feeling shame or guilt. I'm just being. being happy, being in the appreciation and the gratitude. When I am feeling negative emotions, I am not my true self. There is inside of me a conflict. It's as if myself, my purest and highest self, in that moment was telling me, we are not being ourselves. Please beware. Now you are feeling lonely and sad. What does it mean? It is pointing me to connect with myself. It is telling me you are looking for validation and attention from others. You need to find this compassion and attention within yourself. You need to accept yourself within in order to reflect it and receive it from outside. You cannot pretend to receive attention, for example, in this example of loneliness, if you don't start by giving it to yourself. It's as if my higher self is telling me, hey, we need some time to hang out together. We need some time to stay together, to reconnect to each other, to strengthen our relationship. There is a disconnection. We are getting out of the way. We are getting off the way of alignment, the way of being present in life, the way of being grateful of where we are, appreciating and knowing that we are in the right place at the right time. So can we please, starting from this emotion, just step back, listen to this emotion and try to understand what is it really trying to tell us, because it's a hidden message. It's a hidden message because we didn't learn how to cope and process our emotions accordingly. So this is very insightful for me. It was liberating to finally understand that any negative emotions is for me a wake-up call. It's for me a reminder that something in my relationship with myself is being disturbed by an external circumstance that I might not have control of it, but I do know that I have control of how am I going to choose to feel about it and how am I going to choose to respond to it. So this was a very beautiful realization that is helping me a lot. Now I have to tell you honestly, from the moment I discovered this thing, I get less frustrated and angry. And even if I feel it, it do not last all the day or all the month. It really comes up, I feel it, I listen to it and I say, I'm feeling angry. Something triggered my anger, that person or that thing, interesting. Why am I feeling it? What is within me that I need to pay attention to? What am I making it mean, this situation? Am I giving it a negative meaning? That's why I'm trying to react with anger? That's why I'm feeling like I have to be angry? Let's think about it. Is it really worth it? Do I really need to give it all this importance? And do I really want to respond to this situation? With this emotional awareness, I do know that not only for me the emotional awareness is useful, it is also useful for me when I am interacting with others, because now I can understand where a person is coming from, so I do not hurry on judging her or defending myself from her or taking it personally. Now I have a core realization and understanding of where people come from when they see or act or do anything, because they are having their journey as well as I am doing mine. So every one of us is on his own path, on his own journey, and honestly, everyone is doing his best with what he knows and from where he is, to the best that he could on that moment. We have all been there. We will always be there somehow at some point of our life in our experiences, because no one has figured it all out. We are all here learning and getting to improve, and each and every time we are truly and genuinely, in my opinion, doing our best with what we think is the best way to do things. When I got to that point, I realized that it's not about being wrong or being right, being blamed or blaming others, justifying others. It's more about understanding why some things happen in a certain way, and understanding why people act in a certain way, not to justify them or to make them right, but just for me, for my own peace of mind, to understand that it's not a war. It's not about winning a war or fighting a war. It's about at certain point have the wisdom and the genuine will and need to just understand that everyone is doing his best from where he is and with what we have. So I honor it, I respect it for myself and for others. So I got to a position thanks to emotional awareness where I understood that I do not have the place to judge others and to allow their opinion to be defined for me as a judgment or a definition of who I am or who I want to be. And vice versa, of course, because what I do for myself and accept for myself, I also make sure to offer and provide to others. It's a win-win, it's an exchange, it's treating others the way we want to be treated. Emotional awareness helped me a lot on this because it made me also tolerate, understand, and send love, unconditional love to others in the same way I learned to give it to myself. Another thing is the value for me, very, very, very precious, and I'm so grateful for getting to this understanding and this realization, is the fact that now I am no longer the victim. I am responsible. I am responsible for how I choose to perceive anything that happened to me, any circumstance, any person, anything in my life. Today, I know that I can have the power to choose how to respond to it, versus years ago, I kept reacting to things, getting in a battle against life, against conditions and people, when now it's more about, okay, I don't have to control everything because I cannot. Nobody can control everything and everyone. We cannot all the time get what we want, and that's fine. There is a wisdom behind it, a wisdom that we can grasp and understand if we are patient and we learn to observe and analyze, to question things, to ask why, and to reach the answer, to find the answer, our true deepest why. Because life is a journey where we get to learn. We get to learn about ourselves, about life, and to become more of who we truly are, instead of being an identity, a job, or a partner, or a husband, or a son, or a daughter. We get to embrace our true identity in this life, slowly, through the challenges that come through the circumstances, through the life. And it's up to us to decide what meaning are we gonna give it, what emotions are we gonna feel about it, how are we gonna respond to it. This is, for me, was very crucial, because in my life I know that life will continuously bring me problems and tough situations, but I am not gonna see them anymore as problems and obstacles. I choose to see them as challenges I get to go through, because they are bringing me lessons that are preparing me for the next version of myself, a better version, a wiser version, a better, a gooder, a more authentic version of myself, more genuine version of myself. And this is something that I am passionate about. I am passionate by the idea that I get to know who I truly am. We have been all, or most of us, all our life lost, constantly trying to fit into something, like a puzzle that needed to get into the whole picture, when there was no picture actually. We were the picture. And everything in our life is seen through our eyes. Each and every one of us is unique, is having his own unique perception of the life he's living, and he is experiencing things his own unique way, and he's going through life, he's perceiving others through his own unique perception. So I might be so many versions in the eyes of so many people I've met in my life, and that's okay. I think it's the same for me. I see people in a period of their life, see a version of them. I see it through my eyes, through how I define the world, through how I see the world. If I am a positive, optimistic person, I might see things in a certain way. If I am more pessimistic, afraid and scared because I've been hurt, I would see them in another way. It's going to be to protect me. In the opposite way, when I'm positive, it's going to be there to nurture me, to make me grow, to expand me. So emotional awareness is really helpful also in this. As I said, it's really a key. If you become aware of your key and the power you have in your hands, you know that this key is going to open all the doors easily and unconditionally. You are free. You do not fear your emotions anymore. You embrace them and welcome them. I'm not saying that now when I experience negative emotions, I'm happy. I really feel them and they do hurt a lot, I agree. The point is not to avoid them. Emotional awareness is not about avoid. The beauty of emotional awareness, in other words, is in the fact that it helps you navigate life in a better way, to surf the waves in a very gracious way. You experience life with awareness because you understand. Understanding, becoming aware and understanding is such a helpful thing because you get clarity, and I think we all love the clarity and the transparency. We all love to see things clearly, able to understand things, to understand why they are happening, exactly as the child we used to be from 0 to 7, maybe even to 10 or 12. We were so curious about life. We were so happy. We were so in the present. We were so aware of ourselves, and we didn't have all the negative emotions we do have today. And you know why? Because we didn't have all the limitations, all those limiting beliefs, all those judgments. We didn't care. Being living in the present moment, enjoying every moment, small or big it is. We weren't scared to walk. We weren't scared to run. We weren't scared to fall. We just knew that after walking we will be able to run, and after running we will be able to ride a bicycle, etc. We were excited in every moment of the process. We were enjoying it. We were living it fully to the fullest, and we were just existing. We were existing. We were unconditionally loved, and we loved unconditionally. We didn't have any limitations. Emotional awareness for me is a little bit like that. It's somehow a way for me to remember the child that I used to be, but now with more awareness. So instead of avoiding the pain, now I try to understand it and question it, to understand why it is happening. So if you are feeling any negative emotions, if you are feeling like you are a victim of this life, if you are feeling like life is unfair, if you are feeling like you are inappropriate, like you should be somewhere else for by now, that it's too late or too early for you, if you are feeling scared, if you are feeling overwhelmed, overthinking, over, know that it's in this pain that the better version of you is being ready to express herself. In my darkest moments, I love to think about the butterfly. Before it becomes a butterfly, it was in a cocoon, and before that it was a caterpillar. While it was in the cocoon, a big, huge, amazing, magical transformation was happening. Wings, beautiful wings were about to be created, with a magical, beautiful drawing on it. The movement of the wings, the movement and the beauty of this butterfly was all being created in this dark, very small and straight cocoon. Not all the bad things that are happening in your life are here to destroy you or to hurt you. Try to see it like the butterfly, a moment of darkness where the transformation is happening. Every situation in our life, every struggle we had and we are going to have in our life is there to really point us to something important we need to learn in order for us to grow. And I think that emotional awareness is a good ally to have in this journey of growth, because your emotions can show you where are your limiting beliefs. They can show you your thoughts patterns. They can show you where your actions have been up until that moment. And when you are aware of where you are, you can start considering where you prefer to be. So the darkness, let's say it's a wake-up call for us. The wake-up call might be hurtful, but the negative emotions, when you become aware of them, they are there to wake you up. And let's admit it, not all the transformations happen from being positive. Being positive is because we are already there. It is done and we are happy and we are grateful and we are enjoying it. The pain is more of an invitation to move forward because something better is coming. You are good here, that's fine, but you need to grow more. You have to expand more, because we are much more than this. We are much more than our experiences, much more than our relations, our failures or our successes. And in this life, it's really the beauty of the journey. Not what you achieve, not what you have. It's good to have things. It's good to achieve things. It's good to have self-realizations. What I can tell you is, if you are feeling in a dark place, try to distance yourself before you get into the emotion storm. Take a moment to just observe and analyze what is happening and why it's happening. And ask constructive, positive questions. Ask questions that can help you. For example, instead of asking yourself, what is wrong with me? I am so angry. I am bad. I am. Remind yourself that you are not your emotions. You are not your darkness. You are not the dark storm in your life. You are you, and you are experiencing something. Life is bringing you a challenge, and now it's up to you to choose what meaning to give it. Are you gonna give it a constructive meaning that can allow you to go through this darkness and let the butterfly in you just be and fly? Or are you gonna let it consume you, destroy you, and dictate how you are gonna react without getting to any point? The choice is only yours. It's up to you to really choose if you want from today to own your responsibility, be grateful for the gift of the emotion, and be aware of this gift. Use it to the best you can in every given moment. Enjoy and appreciate every emotion you have, the good and the bad, and do not define your negative emotions as negative. Instead, define them as a guide waking you up, taking you to the next step. And if there is a little bit of suffer in it, that's good. Congratulate yourself, because you are growing and expanding. You are becoming a beautiful butterfly. You have always been a beautiful butterfly. It's a cycle, it's a transformation. We are having ups and downs. This is life. This is the wisdom of this beautiful life. And honestly, I don't know of any successful people that didn't went through all the storms, and instead of sitting there and playing the victim, they chose to make something valuable of it, to transform it into a power for themselves and for others, to inspire them. And this is what you should do for yourself. I say should because it's your duty for yourself to really love yourself, appreciate yourself, and accept yourself the way you are. It doesn't matter if someone says that you are too emotional or too sensitive or too aggressive. It's part of you. It's part of your journey. It's a transformation. And who you are today is not who you are forever. You are way bigger than this. You are much more than anything you are doing right now. And please remember, you are not your actions, you are not your accomplishments, you are not your beliefs, you are not your emotions, and you are not your thoughts. And most importantly, you are not defined by others. Do not let their words define you. Do not allow them to define you. And remember that the most important thing is to understand. I know that emotional awareness is a very long and beautiful journey. I've learned a lot. I keep learning a lot. It's an amazing, vast world. And I invite you really to start considering to build your emotional awareness. You can check my videos. I do have a lot of videos that explain emotions, negative emotions, and how to transform them. I share my discoveries, what I learned, what I'm learning, and I really hope it's helpful for you. It's of value of you or other people that you may know. Speak about your emotions, own your emotions, love them, respect them, and remember that you have the choice and the power. So use it wisely. Use your emotions as your guides. Stop fighting against them. I thank you for your time, for listening today. And if you love what I'm doing, hit the like button. And I would love also to hear your thoughts about emotional awareness in your journey of emotional awareness. What are your thoughts about your emotions? How are you dealing with them? What are your insights from this video? Your takeaways? What could be in this video something that resonated with you, that have been helpful for you today? Leave it in the comment for us all to share our insights and share the values and spread emotional awareness. Thank you very much. Much love, and see you in the next video.